Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the KD Adventures, and we are finally back with a Planet Coaster series right here on the channel, starting it off with a brand new year. We're starting off with a brand new theme park. Now, if you've been watching the KD Adventures for a while, you'll know that I started a theme park last year on the channel, but I came across a few technical difficulties, and by that I mean I lost some of the footage, a load of stuff happened, so I couldn't continue with the series because I started building a huge dark ride, and I lost all the footage for that one. So yeah, I gave up on that one, but we're back. Brand new year, brand new park, and I am ready. I've fixed all the technical stuff, so we're ready to go. But if you did start watching that series, you'll have seen that I built a parking lot, a car park. I think it was episode 1 that I built that. So if you want to go check that video out, you'll see how I built this car park. It is very similar. It was very similar, but this one is just slightly bigger because this park that I'm going to be building is going to be a lot bigger than the park that I was going to build before. I think I was going to build like 3 or 4 themed areas in the first park. But for this one, I feel like I'm going to be building about 6 different areas in the park. So it's going to be much bigger. And as you saw earlier, when I zoomed out, the space that I've got to build in is a lot bigger than the last park as well. I've got a few different ideas for the different areas. I've been thinking about it quite a lot and what areas I want to go with. For sure, I'm definitely going to be building a pirate themed area. I was going to build that on the original park that I started last year. And I did start building that one, but as I said, I lost some of the footage, so I'm going to be just doing that again, starting that from scratch and building that pirate area. That one is a certain. Another themed area that I have in mind is a kind of like fantasy themed area. I'm talking like Magic Kingdom style, but a little bit different. I've got the vision in my head. It is hard to explain though. So you'll have to wait for the episode to find out what I mean. But I've got a kind of like mountain. I've got a mountain in my head, like a village and then a mountain. Kind of like at Animal Kingdom where you've got Expedition Everest. And I want to do like a mountain themed ride in that fantasy area and have like a dragon theme. A dragon themed coaster. That's what I've got in my head anyway. It's very hard to explain it, so you'll have to wait until the episode to find out what I mean. But yeah, that's the 2 areas that I've got in mind at the moment for certain. I've got a few other ideas that I'm not certain on yet, but I've got a kind of like jungle themed area in mind. I thought that would be pretty cool to do. I also have another spooky themed area in mind. I did start that in the last series, well, the 4 episodes, I think 4 or 5 episodes in the last series, I did start building a spooky area, and I feel like I'm going to be putting another one of those spooky areas in this park as well. Hopefully I'll be able to complete it this time, but with the amount of scenery that Planet Coaster put in that's spooky themed, it's so easy to make some great dark rides with it, so I'm probably going to be putting a spooky themed area in this park as well. I'm going to be making use of the Adventure DLC pack that you get in the game as well. I only just bought that recently, so I'm going to be using that maybe in the jungle themed area. I've got like a jungly themed ride planned, maybe like a jungle cruise as well, similar to the one at Magic Kingdom. So yeah, I've got a bunch of different ideas and I'm super excited to put them into action and build all these different themed areas in the park. But as you can see in today's episode, I've started building that entrance plaza. So I built the car park already, got a few cars there already as well, but now I've started building that entrance plaza. And I've never really focused on grand entrances before. I always include them when I'm building a theme park, but this is definitely by far the biggest one I've ever done. And the entrance plaza, it's the first thing that you come across when you enter a theme park. So it needs to look good because it's the first thing you see, and especially when the car park's right there as well. You come through there and you'd see that giant entrance. Yeah, it's really important that you have a really nice entrance plaza. So that's what I've tried to go for today in this park. And as you can see as well, I've built a train station. So with this train, you can get on it at all the different areas of the park. It's going to stop at each area, so you can get on and off at each area. You can even get it, if you're at the back of the park, you could get back on it and ride back around to that front entrance, the entrance plaza. So obviously I haven't built all the areas yet, so I can't really decide where the track's going to go. So I've just got a basic idea at the front bit there, so that's why it's not complete. But I wanted to make this train station quite similar to the one at Magic Kingdom, where you can see it just overhead of you when you're going under the track. So yeah, that's what I've kind of gone for, and I think it looked really good in the end. I decided to put in these little glass panel bits as well. I wasn't just going to leave it open, I wanted to make it enclosed, while that front bit enclosed anyway, and I thought it looked really good in the end. So with this entrance plaza, it did take me quite a while to build it. It took me about 3 to 4 hours, but obviously I've sped things up and cut things out, so it's not boring for you, because I can assure you, you would get very bored if I kept it at 4 hours long. I think I cut it down to about 20 minutes, so I think I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy that I've managed to cut it down to 20 minutes. Although I've cut things down and sped things up, I don't think I've cut out any of the building of the main bits. So if you wanted to build this yourself or build something similar, I haven't cut any of that out, so you can pretty much follow this along and build it yourself if you really wanted to. I've mainly just cut out the boring bits, like putting in plants and flowers and different details on the building that would really bore you, I can assure you. So yeah, I've not cut anything out on here, and that'll be the same for all the episodes in future as well. I'll always leave in the main bits, but yeah, you don't want to be sat through 4 hours of me putting plants down and all sorts and roofs. So yeah, it's sped up, but you won't miss out on anything. I think one of the things I'm mainly excited for about this series is that I'll be using all the different scenery from all the different DLC packs that Planet Coaster have released. So as I said, they've released a spooky pack, they've released an adventure pack. What else did they release? It was like a World Showcase pack, a classic, like a classic vintage pack as well. So I'm going to be I'm going to try and use all the scenery that they have released, or as much of it as possible anyway. Definitely when I come to do the jungle themed area, if I decide to do that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the jungle themed area, because I think that'll look pretty cool. But yeah, I'm going to be using a lot of the adventure pack for that one. And of course for the spooky area, I'll be using a lot of the spooky scenery as well, as you can imagine. With the pirate themed area, obviously the pirate themed scenery. So yeah, I'm going to try and use as much of it as possible. So yeah, also if you have any ideas yourself that you want me to put in this park, then let me know down in the comments below, and I'll include it in the parks. If you've got any names for rides, or if you've just got an idea, like if you've got an idea for a coaster or a dark ride or something for one of the themed areas, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll include it. If you've watched any of my other videos here on the channel at the KE Adventures, you'll know that I do the Planet Coaster Roller Coaster Recreation 1 hour challenge, and that is where I pick a coaster, a famous coaster somewhere in the world, and I try and recreate it on Planet Coaster, but I've only got 1 hour to do it. It's a very fun challenge. It's very difficult because, as I said, this took me 4 hours to build this entrance plaza. So trying to recreate an actual coaster in an hour is very, very difficult, as you can imagine. But it is very fun to do, and I really do enjoy doing it. And I'm going to be doing plenty more of those in future. So far I've covered Rita and Nemesis at Alton Towers, and also the Incredible Hulk coaster over at Islands of Adventure, or Universal's Islands of Adventure over in Orlando. And all three of them have been very difficult. I think I'm going to be trying to do the Smiler at Alton Towers next, which is going to be a very big challenge. A very big challenge. I don't think I will be able to do it in an hour, but I'm going to give it a go. I will give it a go. But yeah, I really do enjoy doing those videos. They're very fun to do. But with this series, I'm very excited because I haven't built something original in a long time on Planet Coaster. I mean, I've got the console version now, the console edition on the PS5, and that's very good. That's very good. I love doing that. I play that one with Jesse, and we just built like a Christmas themed park on there, which was very fun to do because it was original, and we had our own Christmas ideas, and it was really fun to do that. but I've not built anything on the PC original in a long time, probably since when I attempted to do the last series. So it's good to get my my creative hat back on again and start building something original rather than recreating something. Like I said, I really do enjoy doing those recreation videos, so and I hope you enjoy them too. If you want to go check them out, I'll leave the links down in the description below. But yeah, with this series, I'm just excited to get back to doing something original, something unique, building all these different themed areas. I'm very excited for it because I've got a lot of ideas in my head and what I want to do. I'm not too sure what I'm going to be starting with yet. I might start with the pirate themed area because that's the area that I've probably got the most ideas for. I'm thinking like a dark ride, kind of like obviously Pirates of the Caribbean, and I've also got like a mine train coaster in mind as well. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm planning on maybe doing that one first because that's the one that I've got the most ideas for. And while we're on the topic of the console edition, I'll talk a bit more about that and how that one is compared to the PC version. It is very good. I really do enjoy the console edition. There are a few little glitches that are very annoying. I'll save that. There are a few glitches where when you're adding scenery. Hopefully they will be fixed though, so it might not be a long-term thing. It should be. I really hope it gets fixed anyway. The graphics on it, I'm on the PS5 version, so I'm not sure if it'll differ on different consoles. But the graphics are incredible. They're definitely better than the PC version. Well, on my PC version anyway. If you've got a really good graphics card, then it might be very similar to the PS5 and the console versions. But with my graphics card, the PS5 version has definitely got better graphics. But having said that, the amount of scenery that you get on the console edition, it's not as varied. You don't have as many of the different DLC packs. I know they released the Spooky pack and another pack as well. It might have been the Adventure pack. I'm not sure on that one. But they definitely released a couple more DLC packs since I last went on it. So yeah, it is growing, the amount of scenery, but there is definitely more scenery on the PC version currently. And also it's a lot easier to place scenery, to move around and just control everything on the PC version. Because with the when you've just got a remote in your hand, a control in your hand, you've only got the 4 triggers and then the 4 buttons. So it's obviously a lot more difficult to move around and place objects, whereas on the PC version you've got a full keyboard full of keys and you got your mouse and everything. So it's a lot easier to control and build on the PC version. I think one of the main things that slows you down on the PC version as well is placing the scenery. Like you'll see it in this video, it's very easy to place stuff on walls, because when you put a piece of scenery next to the wall, it automatically detects that there's a wall there, so it will place the item on the wall. Whereas on the console version, you have to rotate it manually every time you want to put something on a wall, which can be very, very time consuming. It can make it takes a long time to build something, especially like a dark ride. So yeah, that is one of the main downsides to the console version. But having said that, it is very good. It is very good, and I would definitely recommend getting it. So as you can see, the entrance plaza is starting to come on quite well now. I've added in a few different bits of scenery, like I've added in those glass panels where the train is. So when you enter the park, you'll see that train station up above you as you're just going underneath it. I've also started adding in some windows and some doors on the buildings, and I've also added in those wooden planks as well around the building, just to make it stand out a little bit more. So yeah, it's starting to look quite good now. I've also added in a queue line as well for the train station. I've enclosed it as well, the entrance anyway. I'm not sure if I'm going to enclose the exits yet, but I definitely wanted the queue line to be enclosed. I think with this park I want to make it as realistic as possible. I mean, as I said, at the moment all the parks in the UK are closed for the season. They'll be closed anyway due to what's going on in the world. But yeah, we can't get to theme parks at the moment here in the UK. In fact, we can't even leave our house currently. So I want to make this as realistic as possible, because I don't know when we're going to next experience a theme park at this rate. Things aren't great at the moment. So yeah, I just want to put all my effort into making this park as realistic as possible, putting as much detail into those different themed areas as possible, and yeah, just making it realistic and making it a realistic park like it would actually exist. I think that's what you need to go for in this game, really. I know some people just play this game to make ridiculous coasters, like when I go on YouTube I see titles like, oh, I built the biggest coaster in Planet Coaster and it'll be like 5,000 feet tall or something, or they'll do like the longest coaster ever. But yeah, that's not what I'm going for in this series, so if you're looking for that, then click off this video. I'm going for realism here. I want to build a proper realistic theme park, and I think I'm doing that well already with this entrance plaza and with the car park. So this building here, this is going to be where the staff buildings are. So in the game, it's not just about building coasters and rides, but you also have to manage your staff as well. So you've got to keep them happy, or they'll quit. If you've ever played this game, you'll know that staff get very bored easily if there's not enough guests and whatnot. So you have to keep them entertained. And along with that, if there's too many guests, they can be overworked, so they need like a breakout area. So this is what this building is here. You've got a load of different options for your staff. I think you've got like a staff recreation room where they can go for their breaks. You've also got one for security as well. I can't really remember what the other ones are, but there's a number of different options, and that's why I've put in 7 different rooms. So yeah, that'll be where the staff go. The other building on the opposite side, on the left hand side, that's just for show. That won't be for anything. That's just to enclose it all, to cut off. It's mainly to cut off the view of the rest of the park as well. And I think that's one of the main challenges on Planet Coaster, or even in the real world, in the real theme parks, and that's hiding the other areas of the park from the area that you're in. So say for example, if you're in the pirate area, you don't want to be seeing stuff from the spooky themed area. You want it to all be enclosed and not see any other areas of the park. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with this entrance plaza as well. I wanted to keep it a mystery. I wanted to keep the rest of the park a mystery. So even though that building bit on the left, it isn't used for anything, it means that you won't see you won't see as much of the areas that are on that left hand side of the park. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's coming on so far. I know this is only the first episode. As we go further into it and as I build more areas to the park, I think it's going to start looking really good, and I'm quite excited to see it develop over time, and then look back on this episode and just see how it's progressed in future. So yeah, I'm very excited for this and to build this park. And as I said earlier, if you do have your own suggestions for maybe like an area or a coaster or a ride, then let me know down in the comments below, and I might include it in the park. So now that the building part of the entrance plaza is complete, now I'm just starting to add in those different bits of scenery, those different trees, and I'll start adding in the flowers soon as well. The trees weren't a difficult task, but the flower part, that was pretty difficult to do, because it wasn't difficult, I'd say, more boring. I think that's the word I'm going for there, because I had to line them all up, and then I had to like copy them all and shift them all over. It did take me quite a while, and it was pretty boring, so I've definitely sped those bits up and cut a lot of those bits out, so you don't have to sit through all that. But yeah, you need to make sure that entrance plaza looks amazing, because as I said earlier, it's the first thing that you see when you walk into the theme park, so you want it to look stunning. And what I've gone for really is just kind of a Disneyland Paris kind of look, because I in my opinion, Disneyland Paris has the most beautiful entrance in the whole world. That entrance plaza, when you walk in, and it's got like the hotel, and you've got all the different plants around and the flowers. It looks incredible. So I've kind of taken inspiration from Disneyland Paris here. It's not as grand as that entrance, I don't think, but I've taken inspiration from it. And just as I'm adding in that last set of flowers, that is the entrance plaza complete. And I am very, very happy with how this has turned out. In fact, it's turned out a lot better than I anticipated, especially with that train being on there. I wasn't planning on doing that, but I'm very glad I have. And also with the car park as well, I think it looks really good, because as you come through, you'll see that entrance plaza. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this has turned out. And that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I can't wait to do more episodes of this and start building those different themed areas. Let me know down in the comments what you want me to include in this park, or if you have any suggestions, and yeah, I will include them in this park. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.